Go ahead. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbana zidna ilman naf'an wa 'allimna al-kitab amin. Okay. I don't think I gave homework, but it was just if you wanted to, you could read the lesson in English. So if you read that, then you should be prepped for today. But we'll just start from where we were sort of going on yesterday, which was what exactly? Dual, right? So we said in Arabic you have, so in English actually, you have the single, right? There's a single form for something, right? If I say child, right, that's one child I'm talking about. And there's more than one, which is the plural, right? So what's the plural of child? Children, right? There's no way you can, if I want to talk about two children, I would say two children, right? But in Arabic, you can specify that there's two children. So we add the dual option. Okay. So we said that single is only for one, dual is for two, and plural is for three or more. Okay. So how do I say a child in Arabic? Waladun. Right? Waladun is one child. Okay. And then how do I say three or more children? Awlad, not alwad. So awladun. Awladun. Right? It's on the pattern of af'al. Af'al. Awladun. And then now we're learning that if I want to specify exactly two children, what do I have to do? Waladan, right? So I'm going to write wala, and then the last letter that I'm on is going to, instead of having a dhamma, it's going to have a fatha. I'm going to add an alif, noon, and a kasra, right? So I'm going to say waladani. That's two children, okay? Um, how do I say two pens? Qalamani, right? How do I say two hands? Yadan. So yadun is one hand, yadani is two hands. And then the same thing applies if it's a feminine object, right? So if you have something like sa'atun, how do I say two watches? Sa'atan, right? Sa'atan. Yes. Yes. So the only difference is that instead of ta marbuta, this is a regular ta. So you can't, ta marbuta only comes at the end, right? So the ta here is just a regular ta, and you do the same thing here. Okay. How do you say more than one, more than three watches? Sa'atun. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Sa'atun, one watch. Sa'atani, two watches. Sa'atun, three or more. Okay. And also the other point I didn't make yesterday was um, sa'atun is what form? Is it marfu, mansub, or majroor? Marfu, right? It's marfu because and we said that it's marfu if it ends with two dhammas. And then sa'ati is also marfu, right? Is sa'atani marfu, or is it majroor? It's marfu still, right? So it's marfu, and the way it's going to change to majroor and mansub is going to be a different way. Just like muslimuna, right? Muslimuna is plural um, for Muslims, right? It ends in a fatha, but that doesn't mean that it's mansub. It doesn't mean that it's mansub. It's actually marfu. Okay. So actually, let's do this also. So what's one Muslim? Muslimun, right? Muslimun. How do I say? And so three or more Muslims is Muslimuna. How do I say two Muslims? Muslimani. Muslimani. So I just did the same thing where I took the meme, put a fatha on it, and then alif noon. Oh, sorry, alif noon, kasra. Muslimani. Okay. Let's do it for muslimatun. Muslimatun. Okay. How do I say two muslimas? Muslimatani. Excellent. See, this is easy, right? If you're yawning, that means it's easy. Muslimatani. Okay, and then how do I say three or more muslimas? Muslimatun. So I go back to the first, go back to the original one. Okay, this is how you're gonna make your plural. Muslimatun. So the point here is that you can get the dual and plural form just from the singular, right? So if you know what one muslimatun is, then you just add a tani to get dual, and then an atun to get plural.
For any female word, it's easy.
Yes.
Because if you have only one, you can, from that one, you can know the other two easily.
Right. But yeah, the sort of is in this one where sometimes they all end in una, right? Mudarrisuna, nabiyuna, alaykum salam wa rahmatullah. But other times you have to know the pattern. So, but it's really like once you know it, once you come across it once, you don't really mess up after that, especially if you know the patterns. Okay. All right.
You have to read every day.
You have to read, yeah. And actually, so this is why like we did the online review. So if you review the vocabulary, you'll keep up to date with it.
Otherwise, it's easy to forget.
All right, so let's read the rest of the lesson in the back, page 49. Um, so we read point one, right? Or we didn't finish all of it, but we okay. So, and also, so we said if I'm saying these two of these things instead of hada, I'm gonna say hadani, right? So it's written in that under there. It says the dual of hada is hadani, and hadihi is hadani. Right? So if I'm talking about two watches, sa'atani, I'm gonna say hatani, hatani sa'atani, hatani sa'atani. It's kind of rhyming. Yeah, makes it easy to remember. Okay, so basically the two words that are in this lesson are hadani and hatani. And the next point is the dual of huwa and hiya is huma, right? We've already done that. Huma. Okay. So we already did huma, right? We already know it. Let's read the sentences. Um, Brother Osman, read the first one.
Who are these two boys? Man hadani waladani.
Man hadhanil waladani. Who are these two boys? We're in the back. We're on page 49 in the English key. It would be in the points to remember.
Point to
Yeah. I think it's the same, right?
3 books.
No, lesson 8, look at the back of the lesson.
Like we'll go to the end of lesson 8 right before lesson 9.
Yes.
So that the color book has different number days. Yes. Okay, the next one, Brother Afnan.
They are.
Read the Arabic first.
Huma talibani jadidani.
Huma talibani jadidani means
They are new students here by their
they are two new students. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Okay, so again you notice jadidun changes to what is jadidun change to? Jadidani, right? So originally you have jadidun. So if I'm talking about two new, I'm gonna change jadidun as well to jadidan. Okay. Roll call next one.
أين الأختان
أين الأختان
أين الأختان?
means
Where are the two sisters?
أين الأختان. So again, أختun is one sister, أختان is two. Sister is أختun.
But in this book it says Ukhatani.
It says
أختان.
Yeah.
It might be أختان. No, I'm pretty sure it's أختان. Hold on. I'll have to look at that.
There's the note on next page.
Yeah, I know it's for raka'a is raka'at.
For Akhun.
Oh, for akhun?
Yeah, they said note that the dual of Akhun is Akhawani, not Akhani.
Yeah, but that's for akhun, not
Is it
for
something related to the same thing?
no. Ukhtun, it should be in my mind it should be ukhtani, but I don't know why it's ukhatani. I'll have to check. Um, okay, next one, brother Ala.
هما في الغرفة.
Okay, what does that mean?
They are in the room.
They are in the room, right? So we already did huma. So those two people are in the room.
I have a question. Hadani.
Mm-hmm.
That is the new word for just
The dual of these, or this. So if I'm saying hada qalamun, I'm talking about one pen. But if I'm pointing to two pens, I'm going to say hadani qalamani.
It's more than that. I mean, هؤلاء.
Yeah, so ulaika is three or more, or haula'i is three or more. But it's a dual, it's only two.
Hassan, would you say what would be there in the room?
Those two are in the room.
Yeah.
Huma.
Woman then?
Yeah.
Fi al-ghurfati or fil ghurfati?
Fil. Yeah, there shouldn't be a there should not be a fatha. Yeah, it's fil or fati.
What if you're uncertain about like the number of things? Like say, like there's a box, and there's multiple pens in it.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly whether it's two or
How
three
many?
or four.
So if you don't, yeah.
Give me those pens. Would you stick with the two or with the?
Yeah, if you don't know, then I don't know.
Two, and then whatever you think.
I think it should be plural.
No,
You can use plural.
no, but until you look into the box, you're right.
Looking in the box
Until
first.
you,
Well, there technically there could be only one pen in the box. Then you would.
But when he said it was
But
right.
you correct
because
it when
it's
you see what is inside.
So the grammar was right before the box. I was just wondering if there was like actually a rule for that situation. Or
If there's a
I was
rule.
like joking
Yeah.
around or anything.
I know.
Sorry.
It's a legit question because yeah, in English, like let's say I'm saying go into that room and get me those chairs. Okay, there might be one chair in there, but what I'm saying is that however many chairs there are, I want you to go get them. So you would still say chairs. You can use plural, right? Because if I only said one chair and I don't know if there's more than one chair, how many chairs am I gonna get? Just one, right? Yeah. So I mean, it depends on your intention. Like if you want everything, then you specify everything. And if there's only two or one, then you're out of luck. Okay. Number two, kam, how many? So this is something that we said yesterday. Kam means how many. Note that the noun following kam is singular and in the mansub form, accusative case. Okay. So always when you say like how many boys, you're gonna say kam waladan. Kam waladan means how many boys. So even though it's singular, it implies that you're talking about you're asking how many boys. Okay. Kam kitaban, how many books? Kam sayyaratan, how many cars? Note that the noun ending with tanween in the accusative case takes an alif, which is not pronounced. Okay, so basically what they're saying is that when you write something with two fathas, right? You add you add an alif just as a spelling rule, except in the case of ta marbuta. So go to the next page. But a noun ending with a round ta marbuta does not take this alif. Okay, so if I'm writing ساعة. ساعة. I'm not gonna put an alif. Okay? But if I'm writing waladan, I do put an alif. It's a spelling rule. You just have to follow it. Okay? All right, let's go to the lesson. Lesson 18. الدرس الثامن عشر. Page 100. 100. I know, right? MashaAllah, we've done 100 pages. We have, I think, 20 more pages to go. All right. So let's start with Brother Uthman. Read the first one.
Okay, المدرس
Mhm.
كم أخا لك يا محمد.
كم أخا لك يا محمد. Okay. How do you translate that?
How many brothers do you have,
How many brothers do you have,
O Muhammad?
O Muhammad? Right. So what's laka mean? You have. All right. So I mean, li we said is belongs to or have, right? So, um, and then what happens when? So li is a what, grammatically it's a what grammatically? It's a harf jar, right? When it's attached to a attachable pronoun, it becomes la, right? So lahu to him, laha to her. How do you say it to us? Lana. How do you say it to me? Li. Right. So in that case, you the ya mutakallim drags it down, so you use li. How do you say to all of them? Male. Lahum. And to all of them female. Lahunna. To you male and to you female. Laki. Right. So here it's saying you're talking to Muhammad, so you're gonna say kam akhan laka. How many brothers do you have, Muhammad? And next one, brother Afnan.
لي أخ واحد.
لي أخ واحد. واحد. So what does that mean?
I have two brothers.
What's واحد? One.
One.
So أخ is already one. So if واحد was not in there, you would still say one brother, right? But واحد is just added for for specificity. Okay. I know, right? We just did dual. واحد. So واحد is. So we're gonna learn the numbers in the next lesson, inshallah. واحد is one. All right, brother Paul. Next one.
وكم
كم
وكم أختا
أختا.
وكم أختا لك
وكم أختا لك. What does that mean?
and how many sisters do you have?
And how many sisters do you have, brother Ala?
لي أختان.
لي أختان means
I have two sisters.
I have two sisters. Brother Najm, next one.
المدرس كم عجلة
للدراجة.
للدراجة يا حامد.
للدراجة يا حامد. What's عجلة? Wheels. عجلة. عجلة is a wheel. So عجلة للدراجة. What does that mean? What's دراجة? Bicycle. So what is he asking?
How many wheels do you have in your bicycle? Yeah.
Not do you have. So للدراجة you would say how many wheels does the bike have? It doesn't say his. It doesn't say your bike. But للدراجة means to the bike, or for the bike, or in the bike. So how many wheels does the bike, or in the bike, oh Hamid? Wait, why does it say Hamid? Oh, there's another person, Hamid. Brother Anwar, read the next one. لها
لها عجلتان.
لها عجلتان. Why is it
عجلتان. لها عجلتان.
why is it لها?
Yes.
Referring to
Bicycle.
bicycle, right? Sorry, دراجة, right? So it has a ta marbuta, it's a feminine, so you say لها. And عجلتان means two. Sorry, two wheels, right? So it's a two-wheeled bicycle.
Yes.
Yes, it has two wheels. Sister Tahira, read the next one. It's not a noon. It's an yeah. كم عيدا يا زكريا. What does that mean? What's sana? Years. Or the year. So what's كم عيدا? How many? That's أيضا.
Ida.
عيدا is عيد.
What?
عيد الأضحى يدخل فطر.
It should not be Ida.
Well, you spell it عيد, but when you're saying it with كم, you have to say عيدا, right? You have to make it with two fathas. It's in the mansub form. In the year. How many Eid, how many festivals are in the year? Okay, Shireen? Fissanati, good. Eidani, right? So if I'm talking about Eidun, how do I say two Eids? Eidani. Eidani. So what does that mean? Fissanati Eidani? What's Fissana? Sana means year. In the year, there are two Eids, right? And there obviously, so you have to say you're switching the mubtada and khabar around, right? So you're saying in the year are two Eids. Okay, keep going. Huma Eid al-Fitri wa Eid al-Adha.
How come this one didn't use the rule of single feminine?
It's not a plural, right? You're saying huma, they two, they are, or those two are Eid al-Fitri wa Eid al-Adha.
That's like right after
Yeah, but you're only talking about two. So you're not going to say hadihi or have.
So the
tilka.
single feminine only works when there's more than two. Like if I had two pens.
Yeah, you use that rule, the ghair aqal, for plural nouns only for three or more.
Oh, okay.
Right? If there were three Eids in a year, you would say hiya, Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, wa something else. Okay? Yeah. But for two, it's just huma. Okay, so they are Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. Which one comes after Ramadan? Eid al-Fitr, right? Brother Usman.
Ya Ibrahim. أبوك تاجر كبير. كم تاجرا عنده.
Wait, does it say kam tajiran for you? Hold on. I don't think they have this in the back. Wait, what does it say for yours? What does it say for yours? So, mutajarran, I'm not sure. I don't know. Does everyone else have mutajarran?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
I think it's like a trading spot or something.
Yeah, like It might be a place of trade.
Yeah.
It's not in the back.
It's not in the definition. But if you have the color book, then it says kam sayyaratan indahu, which means how many cars does he have?
Yes, سيارة.
Yeah. But mutajarran might be I don't know. It could be a place of trade or something, or stores. I don't know. What does abuka tajirun kabirun mean?
Your dad is a big merchant.
Your dad is a big merchant. Your dad is a big businessman. Okay. And then comes if it says sayyaratan, it says how many cars does he have?
Is this the reason that the Inda became Inda?
Indahu is to him, belong to him. Yeah. Indahu. So the next one says عنده متجران كبيران. Okay. Well, I'll try to find out. I don't remember what that means.
I think whenever you move to someone to something, it means that they're like actually physical to it. That like jihad.
The root is tajir, so matjaran.
كبيرتان.
No, kabirani without. Well, I guess for yours it's sayyaratan.
But here is كبيرتان.
Yeah. So kabiratun, you make it dual by kabiratan. Okay. So عنده متجران كبيران, so he has two big things. Brother Uthman, next one. Actually, you already did, Brother Uthman.
Come nafidatan
نافذة.
nafidatan fi غرفتك
Mhm.
ya Ismail.
Okay, what does that mean? What's nafidha?
Window.
Window.
How many windows are there in the room?
Not in the room.
Your
In your room, oh Ismail. How many windows are in your room, Ismail?
It says it's a noun for store, shop, or market.
Store shop. Okay. Should there be a shadda on the? Is it mutajarran or matjiran?
I spelled exactly the same way it came out.
Okay. All right. So it's a store. How many stores does he have? All right. Back to the nafida. How many windows are in your room, Ismail? What does Ismail say, Brother Paul? فيها نافذتان. Okay, what does nafida? What that mean? What's fiha? No, in it, referring to ghurfa. There are two windows in it, or in it are two windows. Brother Ala, next one.
لمن هذان دفتر لمن هذان دفترين
MashaAllah.
Sorry.
This is 10 days of, a whole week of.
Sorry.
So what does that mean?
For who are these two notebooks?
So who do these two notebooks belong to? Right, Liman. Brother Salim, next one. Humali. Humali. What does that mean? They belong to me. They too belong to me. Brother Najmul, next one.
لمن هاتان مستر
Al-Mistaratani.
هاتان المستراتان.
What does that mean? What's al-Mistara?
I don't know.
It's a ruler, right? Mistaratan. Ruler. Like for a class. Yeah. This is a classroom, so it's mistaratun is a ruler. So how do you say two rulers? Mistara, right? So liman hatani mistaratani. Who do these two rulers belong to? And what does Yunus say, Brother Anwar?
Umali.
What does that mean?
This belongs to me.
They belong to me. Those two belong to me. Okay. Let's take a break and then we'll do one of the exercises and then the rest you do for homework. Actually, this is what you can do. So for the break, do the first exercise with the person you're sitting with. So it says أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية مستعملا المثنى. So answer the following questions. They're all based on what you just read. Okay. So they're gonna ask you like the first one. عندك actually no, scratch that. So we'll do this after. Okay. But you can read these. So just take a break for a couple minutes. Yeah. All right, so let's do the exercise, and then I'll give the rest, or I'll give some of them for homework, and then we can call it a day, inshallah. So the first one, it says answer the following questions by answering with choose. So whatever the question is, you have to answer, you have to say the answer with two of whatever you're talking about. Okay, so the first one, let's do together. If I say كم قلما عندك, what does that mean? How many pens do you have? So if I want to say two pens, how do I say that? Say the whole sentence. عندي, I have For objects you use inda. So for people like brother, sister, relatives you use li, but for objects you say indi. Indi qalamani. Indi qalamani. Number two, do brother Osman.
كم كتابا عندك?
What does that mean?
How many books do you have?
Okay, now say I have two books.
عندي كتاب كتابان.
Kitabani, right? So you just add an ani to the word. Kitabani. Number three, brother Osman.
كم سيارة سبورة في فصلكم.
Okay, what does that mean?
How many writing boards
How many writing boards are
there in your class?
in your class? Saburatun is writing board, fasl is classroom. So how many writing boards are in your classroom? So say two.
In the
No. So actually, so you have to say in our classroom are two writing boards. So how do you say in our classroom?
in our it's not so.
We actually have two writing boards in this classroom. Fi? How do you say our classroom? Come on.
You said our classroom, right?
Our classroom.
Classroom is firstly.
Fasl. Okay, how do you say it? Classroom of ours.
Isn't it?
Yes. So how do you say the whole thing?
Faslina.
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 So faslikum is your classroom. Faslina is our classroom. So fi faslina.
في فصلنا سبورتان سبورتان سبورتان.
Ni. Saburatani. Fi faslina saburatani. MashaAllah. Brother Paul.
كم ريالا عندك الآن يا ليلى؟
What does that mean?
How many reals
Mm-hmm.
do you have now, Layla?
MashaAllah. Okay, how do you say yeah, so you can say I have or you can say she has. How do you say 2 reals?
ريالان.
Indi riyalani. I have 2 reals. How do you say she has 2 reals? Instead of indi, to me, you're going to say to her. Indaha. Indaha. Indaha riyalani. Okay? Al-ani.
Can we sit here in the? No.
Hiya indaha.
Yeah.
No. Just yeah, indaha. Hmm?
Or her name and then in the.
You can say Layla indaha riyalani. Number 5, brother Ala.
كم أختان لك يا علي?
Okay, what does that mean?
How many sisters do you have, Ali? Abu Ali?
How do you say he has 2 sisters?
له أختان.
Lahu ukhtani. So here you use la or li. Lahu ukhtani.
But like when you له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that له when it's not?
It just is. Yeah, you're right. So it says lahu, to him belong the whatever is in the heavens and the earth. So technically you could say like everything belongs to him, right? Yeah. And lahu is like more like it's like ownership. Right? But for us we just use la for relative to describe our relative.
Didn't you say that Minda is mostly used with the when you refer to an objects, right?
Yeah, and actually it uses inda with Allah too, because Allah says, "Ma indakum yanfadu, wa ma inda Allahi baq." So whatever is with Allah, inda Allahi will stay, and whatever is with you will perish. So you do see inda with Allah.
So sometimes they're using the
Yeah, sometimes we are using it. But I'm just saying, if you want to describe a familiar relationship, if you want to say I have an aunt, then you're going to say li. Okay. Brother Salim, next one.
Kam Amman Laka ya Amman.
So you're talking to Amina, so instead of laka, you're gonna say laki. Right? Okay, how do you say she has two uncles? Laha. So so how do you say instead of ammun, it's gonna be ammani, right? So ammani. Okay. Brother Najmul, next one.
كم صديقا لك يا محمد?
Okay, what does that mean?
How many friends do you have, Muhammad?
Okay, how do you say I have two friends?
Three.
You say fi? How do you say I have? Or to me? The two friends.
صديقان.
صديقان. mashallah.
صديقان.
Brother Anwar, next one.
كم طالبان جديدا
Mhm.
في فصلكم?
Okay, what does that mean?
How many new students
Mhm.
in the class?
Not in the class, in faslikum. Faslikum is your class, right? So how do you say in our classroom to our two new students? No, now you're switching it. How do you say in? In? Fi. Okay. How do you say our classroom? Faslina. Okay. Fi faslina, two new students. First say students. Talibani and new. Jadidani. Okay. So fi faslina talibani jadidani. Okay.
Someone hears it, then we'll be in trouble.
This is all recorded, mashallah. في فصلنا طالبان. What? What? All right, Sister Tahira.
Be careful when you upload it.
I'll change. I'll dub it over. Mhm. قريتك. Did we say what قرية is? Village, right? قرية is village. في قريتك يا زكريا. What does that mean?
How many masjid
Mhm.
do you have in your village? Oh,
Zakaria. How many masajid or how many masjid are in your qaryah, your village? So how do you say in our village we have two masajid?
في قريتنا
في قريتنا.
في قريتنا
Okay. Two masajid.
مسجدان
مسجدان. Okay. في قريتنا مسجدان. Number 10, Sishrin. في هذا الشارع. هذا الشارع. So what does that mean? فندق is hotels. In this street. So how do you say in this street are two hotels? So use the same from the sentence you just read. شارعي. في هذا الشارع فندقان, right? فندقان. In this street are two hotels. Last one, let's do it together. كم أخا لك يا سعاد? How many brothers do you have, Su'ad? And we said Su'ad is a woman's name, right? They said that the musanna of akhun is akhawani, right? So it's not akhani, it's akhawani. There's a waw in there. Okay, akhawani.
Is that different?
Okay, yeah, actually, they gave the plural for akhun, right? What's the plural for three or more brothers? There's said two. There's one is ikhwatun, and they have ikhwanun. So this is actually a special word. Akhawani is two brothers, but ikhwanu, I think it's ikhwanun, yeah, or three or more. Ikhwanun. So you can say ikhwani, my brothers, or akhi, my brother. Okay. Ikhwanun, yeah. So the homework is exercise 4 and exercise 2. Okay? So do exercise 4 before you do exercise 2. Exercise 4 is change the حول المبتدا في كل من الجمل الآتية إلى المثنى. So they're going to give you a sentence, make it dual. Okay? The مثال is هذا كتاب, so you make it dual by saying, writing هذان كتابان. So do that first and then go back and do the اقرأ واكتب on exercise 2.
Sorry, can you say what we have to do on
Number 4 is change the sentence to dual. Yeah. So the first one is like, this is a pen. You have to say these are 2 pens. And then the iqra waktub, just write them out and then write the translation in English. Okay? Any questions?
Yeah, look at that first one on 2. The order of that is kind of weird, isn't it?
The what is weird?
The order of it.
خالد له ابنان وبنتان.
Yeah. Instead of like.
So yeah, it does. So it mentions Khalid first because it has to. But it basically means Khalid, to him are 2 sons and 2 daughters. It sounds weird in English too, but really it just means Khalid has 2 sons and 2 daughters. Okay. You can also say li Khalidin bin ibnani wa bintani. The exercise number 2, the first one. Okay, jazakumullahu khair.